Kiran Chaudhary. In this issue, I want to talk about certificate of competency and certificate of proficiency related sections. So it says, section 52 says that the Indian seafarers who have acquired the certificate of competency or certificate of proficiency as recognized by section 50, they will have to compulsorily serve on the government ships, during the period. The following two periods are stated. Number one, in case the national security is threatened, it means, it goes without saying that something like India is during the war or some other kind of disturbance that has taken place, and the security in general is threatened. The other condition is, as per clause 1 of Article 352 of Indian Constitution, if emergency is declared, then in such situations, it may be required by central government. They might issue a general order or a special order saying that the officers, the seafarers would serve on the government ships under those conditions which may be prescribed, until the time, it is required, they will have to serve the government ships. So it means it is a little different from the previous Merchant Shipping Act 1958, which did not specify under which conditions you may have to serve. It simply stated that if you have acquired one certificate from the MMD, you will need to serve for 4 years, and if you are in possession of 2 certificates, then 7 years. This may be the requirement in case the central government wants you to take permission before you take up a job in the foreign company. But in the new Merchant Shipping Act, nothing of that sort is stated. It just talks about 2 conditions. That is, one is the national security and other one is emergency. Section 45 says that Indian national as well as overseas citizen of India can become officer on Indian ship. They might be having the certificate of competency or proficiency that is acquired under this act, or they might be having a certificate from foreign country, that certificate which is recognized by DG Shipping. And when they serve on Indian ship, they will serve under the prescribed conditions and if there are any restrictions. Section 46 says that all those people who have acquired the certificate, like under section 1, that is the Indian certificate, or they have acquired the certificate from foreign country and recognized by DG Shipping, the certificate itself will be granted to them only if they fulfill the conditions in respect of medical fitness, the age, the minimum qualification, the training, ashore training on board ship, etc. And the certification, of course. The examination standard should be as per STCW. Only then the certificate will be granted, so that that certificate becomes valid to serve on a ship or to become officer on a ship. An entirely new section in compliance with STCW 2010 has been included in the Merchant Shipping Act, the new Merchant Shipping Act, as section 47. It says that the DG Shipping is overall in charge of training. He has to have an absolute control. So all the institutes, assessment centers, etc., training centers or examination centers, they are accountable to the DG Shipping in respect of the performance. So a lot of new things have come already in our system, that is the accountability of the institutes and the attendance of the students and the CCTV recordings of certain courses. So those things are already there. So what is necessary is that everyone who's associated with the training and certification is accountable, including the medical certification. So what DG Shipping wants to see is these various institutes, assessment centers, etc., the training that is imparted in various educational institutes, is the training or is the education that is imparted as per what is the requirement of STCW. So whether the training is appropriately given or the institute can give such training, what is required by STCW 2010, that is what is to be seen. So DG Shipping can send a surveyor to make a report about the institute, and after observing the institute, whether the institute is capable of performing as required by STCW 2010, the report will be submitted to DG Shipping. So after receiving the report from the surveyor, the DG Shipping will take action in case necessary, which means that if the institute contravenes with the requirement of STCW 2010, the certificate will be withdrawn. And at the same time, the other side of the story is, if an institute continues to function in spite of the withdrawal of the approval or the certificate, then the DG Shipping will take appropriate action against that institute. Section 47 goes on to say that every pilot or any person who is performing the duties of a pilot, he has to acquire the current knowledge. He has to upgrade his knowledge. Whatever is the training required for the pilot is, that person must do it. And in addition to this, he also must possess the required certificate for doing that kind of job. So this is what is also included in section 47. Now the question is, who's chief examiner? Chief examiner on the deck side is the nautical advisor. Nautical advisor is the chief examiner of master and mates, etc. And the chief surveyor. Chief surveyor is the chief examiner of engineering side. Section 48 says that if the issuing authority feels that the person has obtained the certificate of competency or certificate of proficiency by fraudulent means, that means the information that is provided by the person concerned to obtain the certificate is not fair. Unfair means he's got the certificate by unfair means. Or if the person is guilty of incompetence, indiscipline or misconduct. And the third point is, if he has acted, that means he has acted or he is inacted, that means action or omission, or compromise with safety, security or prevention of pollution, which causes immediate threat to the environment, then the central government would order investigation, and after conducting the investigation will issue an order to withdraw, suspend or cancel the certificate, provided that no such order will be issued unless the person who has whose certificate is to be cancelled, suspended, etc. is given fair chance to prove that why the certificate should not be cancelled. He has to be given the opportunity, and the person later on will have a chance to appeal against the order that is passed, and central government will decide who is the appellate person to whom the appeal can be made. Now let me also tell you that recently there was this rule in respect of cancellation and suspension of certificate, that is MS rules 1993 of cancellation, in respect of cancellation or suspension of certificates. It's just one pager rule. It says that before a certificate is cancelled or suspended, etc., the matter will have to be inquired by the chief examiner or the person appointed by him. And also, in case the person wants against the order, he can appeal